Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Moe, aka Swedish Whiskey Girl. Yesterday we had a really interesting whiskey as part of our whiskey calendar. A 6-year-old blended malt, which as we suspected was a teaspoon malt. Not sure which distillery it's from, but I feel like I can still taste it, so it's a weird one. I would have to be in a very specific mood to thoroughly enjoy that, but I know a lot of people like a bit of a challenge in their whiskey, so maybe that's one for you. Today we're here with day 23, I think. Yes, because tomorrow's Christmas Eve. So let's see what we're gonna get today. I am excited and I've really enjoyed making these videos and trying things blindly and just kind of seeing what we're getting every day. And I have no idea what tomorrow will bring or today, so I really kind of wish that we'll end on a high note. And what I was also thinking is that I think this calendar ends on day 24. I'm gonna double check so I haven't missed anything, but I'm thinking on the Christmas day I'll release a video where I'll retry some of my favorites and then I'll name the favorite, my one favorite of this whole calendar. So hopefully you'll think that's a good idea. And yeah, we'll do that. And maybe I'll try them blindly to see which one stands out the most in another blind test. We'll see. But today we're here with our next day. And this is of course that Boutiquey Whisky calendar, that Boutiquey Whisky Company calendar. And day number 3, which is right 23, which is right next to day 24. If I can open it, who knows? We're getting there. Here we go. We want to have a look at what it is, and we'll try it blindly. Let's start by having a look on the nose. This is a bit like raisins, walnuts, and marzipan. It's, I would guess Oloroso sherry, just from a first nose, not sure. It has a sherry note that feels more nutty initially, so that's what I'm guessing Oloroso. But also has a sweetness to it, so could be a PX or cream sherry, I guess, as well. Quite drying. Trying to find things that are not those sherry derived flavors, because I'm guessing it is sherry because that's the main character. A bit of a citrus zestiness. Makes you feel quite sassy in a way. It's a little bit hot, so it's a little bit tricky to actually get things on the nose. A little bit floral, I would say, and there's something in there that I'm looking for. When I'm nosing, I'm trying to think at the same time as I'm not leaving too much of a pause, because I don't know how much fun you think it is just to watch me stick my nose in glasses, but it's so tricky to identify things sometimes. It's almost like a molasses sweetness, like going towards like a rum sweetness. But yeah, a little bit hot, so it is tricky. You get the alcohol in the nose and it kind of lingers there, so it's tricky to pick out other layers. But let's have a taste. Sláinte Skål. Sherry flavors on the palate. A good amount of wood, so not a lot of wood, but just a good like lagom, as we say in Sweden, like the perfect amount of wood to notice it, but it's not taking over. I thought initially I was waiting for it to be drier, but it's actually not too bad when it comes to dryness. It's quite funny because I've had a lot of whiskies that are have been a little bit towards like dry and spicy woody lately. I'm now expecting all whiskies to be that. So I'm like sitting here like judging them prematurely and being a bit grumpy about it. But then they surprised me. This tastes like something though. It reminds me of like a hot climate maturation. Because it has something, and I'm not really sure if it's coming from the sherry cask or if it's just like a hot climate that makes maybe a virgin oak or a wine cask or something like that. It reminds me a tiny touch in the core of it of a Cavalan, just because of that kind of, the wood is tropical but burnt at the same time. Yeah. It's difficult because the sherry isn't, what I think might be sherry isn't overpowering. So I don't know if this is something that's maybe like a virgin oak cask, perhaps, that gives characters that are slightly similar to certain sherries. Let's have a little look, shall we? Oh, interesting. This is a Japanese blended whiskey number 1. It's a 21-year-old. A Japanese blended whiskey number 1, 21-year-old batch 5, sits at 47.7% ABV. Interesting. I'm surprised it's not as hot on the nose anymore, but you don't get a lot on the nose, which you would kind of expect to get a little bit more. And of course with Japanese blended, did I say it was a blended whiskey or blended malt? It was a blended whiskey. So there's grain whiskey and single malts, I'm assuming then. I would guess that there's some sort of sherry influence in this from that flavour, I think. It might be a little bit of peated whiskey in there. I mean, a Japanese blended whiskey doesn't have to only have Japanese whiskey. It can have whiskey from kind of all over the world, primarily Scotland tends to be. So I wonder if that... I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's a little bit of a mix of everything, a little bit maybe of smoke, which might be that burnt or charred element that I'm getting. And then maybe a little bit of sherry bringing out those other characters that I'm getting, and then maybe some bourbon cask. But I have no idea. That's what it kind of tastes like to me. And noses like. Interesting. I will see if I can find out more information about this one tomorrow when it's Christmas Eve. And yeah, let me know if you have a favourite Japanese blended malts or just a favourite, can't speak in a way, a favourite, no, can't speak, I got the hiccups. Or if you just have a favourite Japanese whiskey, put it in the comments here below. I hope you're having a lovely December, and if you're celebrating Christmas, we're getting close to that. But yeah, I hope to see you tomorrow. Sláinte Skål!